There will be many who oppose the person who takes a stand and does what is right. Why are they able to pull it off, following the termination of their non-disclosure agreement, NDA? Rebecca Lamb and her husband JW are free to speak out, despite rumors that Joni Lamb and Daystar television network had pressured them to remain silent. According to those involved, this non-disclosure agreement prevented them from publicly acknowledging or discussing the disturbing allegations that Joni Lamb covered up the murder of baby Lamb, the daughter of Jonathan and Susie Lamb. Being the daughter of Daystar's owners, Marcus and Joni Lamb, Rebecca's prolonged silence regarding JW has sparked much speculation and concern among the general public. Despite the gravity of the accusations, Rebecca and JW had avoided discussing them publicly. Specifically, they claimed that baby Lamb had been sexually assaulted by a close relative named Pete. House Bill 748, sometimes called Trey's Law, has been formally passed by the state of Texas. When it comes to cases of sexual abuse of children, this new law will revolutionize the use of non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. With the support of all 149 Texas House members, this measure is a giant leap forward in terms of transparency and fairness. Victims and their allies will no longer be able to be bullied into silence by unfair legal tactics, according to this crucial bill. In cases involving child abuse, Trey's Law makes it clear that non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, cannot be abused to conceal or censor crucial information. In their fight for their young daughter's fair treatment, Jonathan and Susie Lamb have made great strides, and this bill represents a major milestone for them. The non-disclosure agreement, NDA, that Joni Lamb and Daystar may have used to prevent Rebecca and JW from coming out is also significantly impacted by this. This new rule renders null and void any non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, that Joni Lamb and Daystar Network may have utilized to prevent Rebecca and JW from disclosing material facts regarding baby Lamb's case. Rumor has it that Joni Lamb and Daystar coerced Rebecca and JW into signing NDAs that severely restricted their access to sensitive information, exceeding the standard practice for protecting proprietary company data. According to sources, the NDA broadly construed confidential information to encompass anything not publicly known, including sensitive family or network matters. Among these would be the alleged actions of Daystar in concealing baby Lamb from the public and the public outcry against Joni Lamb. The purpose of this non-disclosure agreement is twofold. First, to prevent the disclosure of trade secrets, and second, to prohibit the expression of any negative opinions regarding Daystar or its operation. According to reports, the scope of the non-disclosure agreements is extensive, including anything that could damage a network's reputation or be utilized against it by competitors or the media. Additionally, serious allegations have surfaced suggesting that Rachel, who is the sister of Rebecca Lamb, threatened Rebecca and JW with the loss of their home if they disclosed the allegations against Pete. The couple allegedly felt even more pressured after receiving this warning, which placed them in a precarious position where their financial stability and very survival hinged on their silence and compliance with the network's demands. For this reason alone, the recently passed Trey's Law represents a watershed moment. The Texas House passed the bill without a single dissenting vote, making it crystal clear that non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, cannot be utilized to censor individuals who disclose instances of child sexual abuse. It is believed that Joni Lamb and Daystar Network utilized such deals to prevent Rebecca and JW from coming out. But Trey's Law effectively nullifies their legal validity. Mitch Little, a state representative from Texas, made the statement during the bill meeting that Texas will not be silent any longer. Before the purported non-disclosure agreement silenced them, Rebecca Lamb and her husband, J.W., were said to have been great allies of Jonathan and Susie Lamb in their continuing struggle for baby Lamb's justice. Rebecca Lamb prayed fervently with Susie, demanding justice for baby Lamb on multiple very sad occasions. Beyond mere prayer, Rebecca's support extended. According to Susie, Rebecca expressed her frustration to Marcus Lamb about how he was shielding Pete from consequences rather than doing the right thing. Being a devout Christian, she urged Marcus to do what was right and hold Pete accountable for baby Lamb's purported essay. Their hasty decision was solidified when Jonathan Lamb informed them that J.W. had written an honest and heartfelt letter to him detailing his and Rebecca's concerns. The letter purportedly contained J.W.'s account of Pete's disturbing behavior while Jonathan and Susie were absent. According to J.W., Pete showed baby Lamb an excessive amount of inappropriate and unexpected affection by repeatedly embracing and kissing him. These actions deeply distressed J.W. and Rebecca, leading them to suspect something was amiss. After the NDA ends, Rebecca and J.W., who were previously on baby Lamb's side, may now oppose Pete in court in order to further baby Lamb's cause. The case against Pete could be strengthened and baby Lamb could finally get the justice she deserves if they spoke about his inappropriate behavior. According to Rebecca Lamb and J.W., a man larger than baby Lamb's father essayed her. It was when baby Lamb was just 5 years old. She relayed the information to Jonathan and Susie Lamb. She went into great detail telling Susie what had happened. It was clear from baby Lamb's behavior that her essay was Pete, a Daystar employee and close relative. However, she initially refused to identify him. Baby Lamb would quake with fear and hide under furniture or by herself anytime Susie brought her to Daystar and Pete was around. Pete was falsely accused by Jonathan and Susie of hurting baby Lamb because of these actions. The reactions of baby Lamb were comparable to those of children who have experienced trauma. Reportedly, Jonathan Lamb was horrified to find Pete in baby Lamb's bedroom with her nude. Jonathan and Susie informed Joni and Marcus about Pete's situation before they contacted the authorities. They had hoped that Joni and Marcus would see the gravity of the charges and support their decision to take the case to court. The story goes that Joni's reaction turned out to be rather peculiar. Joni allegedly advised Susie against reporting the abuse to the authorities upon learning of it, rather than endorsing Jonathan and Susie's intention to do so. Following her request for an individual meeting, baby Lamb abruptly stopped bringing up the subject of the abuse. Some say that following the incident, Joni Lamb began to place blame on baby Lamb, accusing her of being a violent child and suggesting that her actions may have contributed to the incident. When Susie and Jonathan saw that Marcus and Joni Lamb weren't on their side, they acted. After making a formal report, they contacted the police. A more formal and structured investigation was initiated as a result of this action. Concerns escalated and additional details emerged, prompting the Colleyville Police Department in Texas to reopen their investigation into the allegations. More information may become available as the study progresses because it is ongoing. Furthermore, given the repeated accusations against Pete and the passage of Trey's law, he may be subject to severe legal ramifications under Texas law. One of the worst possible outcomes is a life sentence without the possibility of parole. This implies that Pete may never be eligible for early release from prison and may spend the remainder of his life behind bars. Texas has stringent regulations regarding offenses involving minors. Accompanying Trey's law in 2007 was an additional statute known as Jessica's Law. Severe SA is defined as the abuse of a child less than 5 years old in this statute. Strict penalties are meted out for this most heinous form of abuse. A first conviction for severe sexual assault against a minor carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 25 years in prison, according to Texas law. The gravity of the crimes is demonstrated here. The offender received the full 25-year term in a case similar to Baby Lamb's. However, due to the multiple SA accusations leveled against him, Pete's case is substantially more serious. This complicates his case because each occurrence could be interpreted as a separate offense, potentially resulting in consecutive sentencing. If Pete is found guilty of multiple crimes, his prison sentence could be 99 years or even life without parole. The death penalty, rather than first-degree murder, is typically meted out to those convicted of aggravated sexual assault against children for a second time. In such cases, the penalties can be more severe than those for homicide. A second conviction for sexual abuse of a child would result in Pete's mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole. Not only could Pete face serious charges, but Joni Lamb could also face serious legal and moral consequences if it is claimed that she tried to conceal Baby Lamb's SA. Many legal issues may arise for Joni, and her public and professional reputations may undergo significant shifts. In the event of a conviction, Pete may face numerous life sentences in prison under the Texas Jessica law. That those convicted of sexual abuse of children face the harshest penalties imaginable is evidence of how seriously the state takes crimes against children. Power and influence censored opinions and concealed the truth for far too long. Everyone is speaking up now because of Trey's law. The truth about Rebecca and JW's situation can now be revealed. Their courage and testimony have made it crystal clear that Baby Lamb is not in this alone, and that justice, after a long wait, is on the way. Please let us know your thoughts on this. In light of Trey's law, which empowers Rebecca and JW to publicly oppose Pete and advocate for Baby Lamb, what are your thoughts on this matter? In the space provided, please feel free to express your thoughts. Additionally, may Baby Lamb be remembered in our prayers and thoughts as we seek redress. Have fun watching the video, and please consider subscribing to our channel and giving us a thumbs up. You will be seen in the upcoming film.